catching the back of Tango now, and Chapelele and of a gap. Andreas is in a bit of a no man's land at the moment.
Just second fastest lap after fastest lap. Sure, he's just aiming higher. He had an incident, I think.
FTH, but he's driving very, very slowly.
Oh, Emerson's just dive bombed, and that's damage for Fatality, and Fatality's round. He's kept out of the wall, and I don't think Fatality is going to be very happy at all with Emerson there. That was, well, frankly, that was reckless from Emerson. He came out of nowhere. And FTH
has retired, so we have lost 2 drivers now. And yeah, so do you reckon Emerson's maybe lost his head a little bit?
I mean, I think it might have just been he outbraked himself. In all fairness, I don't think he's the kind of guy who would do that. It just looked like he outbraked himself. It was a very aggressive move. If it was intentional,
well, Jonathan Cox getting
very bad.
That corner all wrong, and just.
But yeah, it was complete dive bomb. Damaged Fatality. He's now down in 15th and causing wing damage, and he'll probably pit. Jonathan is actually closed up quite a bit to Chapelele, despite that mistake you on about. He's 2/10 up on his last lap. He's looking at a move.
Here we go.
He's got DRS, and he's not going to go for the move there, but he's closed up significantly. Maybe, obviously, just using all the energy you can, or whatever. Maybe Chapelele's saving. We don't like to show that. We don't want to give the benefits to any of the drivers. So this is just all speculation, but yeah, a bit of a lock-up there from Chapelele.
Well, we've got Dan being passed by F1 Farf. They're going side by side. Dan is braking later, but Farf is going to put down the inside and has made that move stick.
Move.
But he's now under attack from Farhad now. He's going to try and prey on the 2 hard runners battling. Also, Milan has had an issue and is now at the back of the pack. I'm not sure what has happened to him.
He hasn't rejoined. That's the AI.
Oh.
So he's gone to the back of the grid because of that. Yeah, Farhad's gained a position. Poorly Orange after... Farf has gained the most positions now with 6 positions.
Well,
gained.
Emerson's now moving around the outside of Nosey and has made that move stick. Maybe Nosey giving that position up. Maybe knowing that Emerson's a lot quicker than him. Nosey plays that long game, doesn't he? So
he knows he won't get penalties because he's superhuman when it comes to his track limits. Big lock up by Chapelele. Not sure if that affected him and the exit. Actually, it looks like he has only a small bit. Jonathan Cox will have DRS, but he hasn't any closer than he was last time.
Chapelele's setups.
Oh, Jonathan
getting
Cox.
Very closer.
Yeah, that would have cost him quite a lot of time there.
But Chapelele's setups.
Always straight line speed heavy.
A minute. Yeah, they're extremely quick in a straight line.
Yeah, I completely agree. His Belgium setup as well was incredible for straight line speed. A driver who really likes low wings so that he can get the absolute maximum top speed. And Jonathan Cox is keeping with him, to be fair to Jonathan Cox. He's having a good race. He's keeping with Chapelele.
These soft tyres, I feel like, are going to fall off for him soon. And that's when Andreas is going to come at him. Andreas is hoping, though, that Jonathan Cox maybe makes a move on Chapelele, makes him have to defend, compromises a line, and Andreas can get back in that DRS, because surely it's not going to be good for his ERS situation for Andreas. Just sitting a 10th outside DRS zone.
Yeah, well, Jonathan Cox is the only soft runner actually in the top 10, and the only other soft runner is Fatality, who was in the top 10 with him before Emerson made that move. I'm not going to speculate whether that was... I'd like to think that was just him outbraking rather than a reckless move. Jonathan Cox getting incredibly close. Maybe he's going to try and go for the move here, although it's straight line speed. Chapelele is going to make it really difficult. Dan gets back past far. Dan gets back past far.
Andreas has actually lost 4 tenths of a second, sorry, in the straight line, which is mental.
Yep, and Dan and Farth continuing to battle. Farth even looking at getting back past again. These two just love switching position. That's the final points position as it stands. So this battle between Dan Murphy, Farth and Farhad, and the battle for the lead, probably the closest at the moment, although Droftas is starting to gain on Tango.
Hard tyre runners aren't going to be wanting to run too hard because they're going to compromise their own strategy. Obviously, they're playing the long game, and they're going to want to really get the overcut on people.
Tell you what, Alpha Tauri running quite nicely, 5th and 6th at the moment. Although Droftas would like to be higher than that. Chapelele really riding that curb, trying to get everything. I think this shows how hard Chapelele is having to push at the moment by the fact he's taking such an aggressive line out of there, and it has helped him. He's pulled away a bit. Oh no, that's devastating for Tango.
Tango's disconnected.
Droftas will breeze past him now. Hopefully he can rejoin, but
we'll get him a invite.
Yeah, if you could give him an invite, that'd be great. Yeah, that means that Droftas is going to ghost through him here.
I don't know what his
he has. Droftas has got past him. It's T _A _N _G.
Okay, it's just that, yeah.
And then it's 348, the numbers at the end. Yeah, Alan now getting past Tango. I think he'll drop out the top 10, even by the time he joins, if he rejoins relatively quickly, unfortunately for him. But what that has done, actually, is allow Droftas to get a lot closer to Andreas. And Andreas seems to be struggling a bit in terms of pace compared to the front runners. He's falling back, and Droftas is nearly in DRS zone. And Abbasis will be looking at the next one to get past. Tango has rejoined.
Is back.
He should be able to rejoin then in time to keep in front of Abbasis.
I have given him a second invite.
He does say
as well,
he usually disconnects. And he tells us not to feel sorry for him, but I can't help it because I've been there so many times. My internet's quite trash.
So quick though.
Yeah, he would do so much better if his internet was better. Obviously, he's got to take control of his car quickly because Abbasis is about to overtake him. Otherwise, he's got past him.
And there we go. He's back in control, just losing a position to Emerson, lagging back a little bit. But
yeah.
Droftas setting the fastest lap of the race with a 130 flat.
Yeah, he's well within DRS range of Andreas now. And
do you reckon Tango was holding him then?
I think so. Because they were battling at the time. Yeah, the delta.
My delta on Jonathan Cox is gone.
Yeah, the top 3 delta's gone. So just gonna have to play it by ear.
I'll tell you what, Chapelele's really getting pushed by Jonathan. I'm surprised those soft tyres haven't died yet. And Andreas is actually falling off.
Yeah, and Droftas is only 5/10 away from Andreas now. He's on a charge and will be looking to get a move done relatively quickly. Jonathan Cox, the only thing for him is because he's been pushing so hard, his tyres surely won't be in great condition and will start to fall off relatively soon. Droftas won't have a chance to overtake him here. The DRS straight's too short.
You can see that Jonathan is slowly losing time to Chapelele, so I think his pit window is coming up soon.
Well, Droftas being held up by Andreas is starting to bring his teammate Alan in. If we look at this train of 3 that's now forming.
Well, Emerson's actually being held up by Abbasis, so
indeed, yeah.
We'll be seeing Emerson and Abbasis arrive soon.
I think he's going to try and go for the move before the DRS straight, or is he going to? No, he's going to wait for DRS. That's the clever thing. But first, we'll check Droftas. Can he make the move done?
And Jonathan Cox is in the pits, and Emerson's coming by Abbasis now and makes it look easy.
Meanwhile, Droftas going for the move. No, Andreas defends it well. Yeah, Jonathan Cox into the pits, onto the hard tyre. So that elevates Droftas into P3 and Andreas P2.
So Emerson's little recovery race is going quite well actually.
Yeah, although I wonder if he'll get any in trouble or any reprimands.
So Jonathan Cox has selected the hard compound tyres. He's going to be going to the end of the race.
Well, I'm watching this battle of Droftas and Andreas on board from Alan, who's getting a
get
lovely
on board with Farhad and Farf now.
Oh, yeah. Going round the outside, risky there, could have easily lost the rear. But Farf's made the move, stick, and he's back into the points. Farhad's under pressure from Paulie Orange now. And Droftas is moving on Andreas. And look at his teammate.
Two very respectful drivers. Are they? They're giving each other the room.
Look at Alan lurking. Alan is ready to pounce.
I don't think Alan's not going to get involved while his teammate's there. I think he knows his role. And you know what? I think Droftas, I think, has the best teammate. These are the best. This best duo I think we've got in this division.
Well, now you said that, you'll run them out.
But here we go. Droftas is probably going to come by Andreas now. Here we go. And now Alan is going to be looking to line up a move on the Swede.
I'll tell you what, Andreas is fighting this. But he won't have... he will have DRS as well back from that. Alan's also got DRS, but he's too far away. Andreas trying to take a slightly different line through there. Can't get the move done. And these three continue their battle.
And Fatality's in the pits.
Well, he's been racing a while with wing damage as well.
So Droftas on the hunt for Chapelele now. 4 seconds is a big ask.
Especially with Chapelele's straight line speed. So.
Yeah. But I reckon he could... I think he can get... It's really...
Alan on
really
Andreas,
got to worry.
Not going for it there, not risking it. I think he could have if he wanted to, but he didn't want to risk it. But he has to get it done soon because Emerson is within DRS range, and we know that Emerson is in a hurry to get back up the order after that contact he had earlier.
Well, I don't think... Well, Alan just flying.
Yeah, he wants
and
to join
Andreas
his
won't
teammate
actually
on the
have DRS. Andreas won't have DRS now. On Droftas, he's already dropped out of the DRS zone, and he's going into the pits. Yeah. And you could tell that his tyres were dying.
So that means the two Alpha Tauris
Tango's coming at Abbasus. Tango on Abbasus, and Tango is past.
Dan Murphy on Andreas. Sorry, that's because he pitted. That was way not dramatic.
And and Tango making that move, but Abbasus defending very strongly.
Trying to come back at him. Tango defends well.
And I tell you what, this man has heart. It was a very much... how do I describe that defending? Vettel Weber-esque. Really just moving him out to the very outside of that track.
Emerson's really gained on Alan. He's
That's actually lost on Chapelele, so... Maybe he's just racing. 4-man train here. Got a little conga line going on between Farth to Energetics.
Oh, Abbasus nearly loses it. Abbasus nearly lost it at that corner. That's going to... I think he'll drop out of DRS to Tango now. He's just staying within it.
He hasn't yet.
No, but he did lose a couple of 10.
So he will get DRS. And... Emerson is all over the back of Ailhan. So Droftas coming into the pits, and Ailhan is going to be overtaken here. Look at that, cruising.
And that is
actually
into the lead.
Chapelele's in the pits and all.
Yeah. So Chapelele onto the hards. Droftas on the hards as well. Farhad in a battle with Paulie Orange, side by side. Someone's gone off. It's Fatality. He spun.
That's Fatality. He's not having the best of times. But I tell you
what's
interesting.
Past Droftas.
Oh my god. But I was going to say what is interesting. Jonathan Cox is within a second of Chapelele.
Yep, and this is really the net position in terms of people who pitted. Chapelele, Jonathan Cox, Andreas has got in front of Droftas. That's significant.
Yeah, so Ailhan will probably come out behind these guys by maybe over a second. Emerson is really going to have to...
And Farhad gaining on Energetics there as well. There's quite a lot of DRS trains that's starting to form now.
Jonathan Cox has fallen without of a second, so maybe Chapelele is going to go for that sort of dominating Vettel
Emerson pits, and as does
race.
Alan, as does Tango, as does Abbasus. So
Abbasus got a
Nolsey...
5 second.
Oh, for speed,
Abbasus
yeah.
has picked up a 5
so
second penalty
Nolsey
now.
becomes the race leader with Dan Murphy on the hards in second. Farth elevates up to third, but obviously these hard runners and far on mediums
where
haven't pitted.
does he come out? Andreas, I'm going to sit on board with him. Gets past, and Droftas as well. So we're going to have a 5-way battle here for P3.
We are, but going longer...
Well, for a net P3.
Going longer didn't exactly help Alan there, but obviously...
No, but Tango is
all
over the back of him.
He is. Is he going to make a move? He's going to make a lunge.
He is.
Oh, bit of contact.
A little bit of contact,
and,
but...
you could see that Alan just sort of getting out the way in the end. He didn't want to risk...
I'm very much interested in this Constructors battle right now. This is something I want to highlight. Droftas versus Chapelele. Abbasus versus Ailham.
Yeah.
Really?
They're both excellent teams in terms of 2 quality drivers. Alfa Romeo as well, and that lineup of Andreas and Energetics. Energetics doing a good job despite
it's not gone their way this season, I wouldn't have said. But,
no, but it's still... I think they deserve better than what
I think
they've got.
for the rest of these, I do think that Alpha Tauri might be on the defensive against...
Abbasus and Chapelele, yeah.
Yeah, against the Red Bulls. Obviously, they're both Red Bull teams.
Yeah, the junior and senior teams, aren't they? Nolsey pits.
And Dan Murphy in the lead of the race. Yeah. Now, Paulie Orange going through on
Chapelele,
F1
fastest lap.
Making that look easy. So...
Andreas, Droftas has got past Andreas there. And he's restored order. Emerson is getting very close to Andreas as well, you know. And Andreas isn't giving up on this with Droftas. He's going to have DRS here. This is for track position.
Well, now he's got to think. He's got Emerson behind him. What does he do? Does he go for Droftas and maybe lose the position to Emerson quicker? Or does he defend from Emerson and just let Droftas go?
He might not have much choice in the matter at the moment, considering how close Emerson is. He might be able to get him with a good exit and then the DRS out of this corner. We'll have to see. Going for a wider line, Emerson. Trying to get better traction. And yeah, it looks like he's got the better traction. Opens up DRS. So going to get the move done. He's in front of Andreas. He gets the move done.
There you go. Do love how close this division is. With 14 laps in, and the top 3 is within...
Energetics has been passed by Chapelele. Chapelele's got past Energetics. And I wonder when we'll see the hard runs.
Chapelele giving a little wave. Just sort of towing him along, I'd guess.
Indeed.
Bit of friendly drive in there.
Well,
I wouldn't have thought Energetics made it that
Emerson's
difficult.
right up behind Droftas now.
I think Emerson might be the second fastest man on the track at the moment, if I'm being honest.
I think he is, definitely. The difference in terms of how quickly he's catching up to guys getting their DRS, and then he gets the moves done really quickly as well. So, yeah, absolutely, he's on a charge. He's currently in a net P4. Oh, he's gone, what? Oh, no, that was lag. Ignore that. But, yeah, he's currently in a net P4. Chapelele net P1. Jonathan Cox net P2. He pitted earliest out of the front runners.
Do you know what, though? He's doing really well. Obviously, Emerson is... Well, not Emerson, sorry. Chapelele's ran away. Doing his best Vettel impression.
He's gaining on Farth as well.
And... Yeah, does look a lot like Emerson might be taking that P3 spot, the way this is going.
It also looks like Chapelele might be about to take F1 Farth on this straight. He's about 4 tenths away, 3 tenths, and we know his straight line set up. He's going to have DRS.
Dan's in the pits.
Yeah, Dan's in the pits. He finally pits after 15 laps, and Chapelele, this should be quite straightforward. It is. Now we switch to Emerson.
Emerson's going through on Droftas. What wings is this man running?
Yeah, he's made that quite easy in the end. As we say, Dan Murphy pits. He's going to come out in...
So now, can Jonathan
P12,
Cox hold on to a
P13.
P2? Because Emerson's flying.
He is. Meanwhile, we've still got Energetics, Farf, and Paulie Orange, who are yet to pit. Let's not forget about that. Emerson's starting to pull away from Droftas already. And now he'll be looking to hunt down Jonathan Cox. Meanwhile, Chapelele's got 2 cars in between him and Jonathan Cox.
And it looks like he's going to add another one very soon.
He's within DRS zone now of Paulie Orange, and look how quickly that delta's going down. Paulie Orange now on 15 lap old hard, same with Farf and Energetics. I presume any lap now will see that as he does a purple middle sector Chapelele. I imagine at any lap he will be pitting. Chapelele looking for back-to-back wins, of course, after Belgium. Getting very familiar with him in the podium. Speaking to him, Paulie Orange pits. Chapelele will take the proper race lead. Is Farf going to follow him into the pits? He is. Energetics is as well.
Fastest lap.
Yeah, he had an incredible middle sector. And there we go. We're resumed to normality as everyone has now pitted. And we have the actual order of Chapelele, Jonathan Cox, Emerson, Droftas, Andreas, Tango, and Elan's really closed in on Tango here, actually. Abbasus in 8th. Dan Murphy has just got past Nolsey for 9th. Nolsey in P10, and Paulie Orange has come out the pits in P11. There's an old
for him.
That's ruined his race. Unless there's a late safety car, you can't see him coming back into it, can you?
No. This race here, it kind of sums up how his season's gone, really.
Yeah, he's had the pace, but he's just bad luck and the odd mistake.
The VSC has saved him a little bit, but he's still just going to drop like a stone.
That wing change, Andreas.
Yeah, I think he's going to retire the car.
He's got a 5-second. Well, that's devastating.
No, he's not retiring. He's just.
Well, that's good to see. I don't like it when drivers retire, even as frustrating as it is. I think you should always keep going no matter what. As Andreas.
Well,
closed in a bit on Droftas.
Now it seems like Droftas always seems to find a way to get on the podium.
He didn't last time out in Belgium.
Well,
but, it looks like after that week break of not speaking to Droftas, unfortunately, going to have to speak to him again on the podium. So, closest battle on track at the moment is between Abbasus and Elan.
While we've got a little break, I'm going to let you solo because I'm going to go to the toilet.
Yeah, before the VSC, worth noting as well that Elan was well within DRS zone. He was actually within 4/10 of Tango, but I don't think the VSC has benefited Elan, and he's fell back into Abbasus' clutches. That lead at the top is getting quite ridiculous now, 8.3 seconds. As Velocity said, he has done a Vettel, just driven away from the very start of the race. Energetics now gaining on Farhad. Farhad's seeming to not to be liking these hard tyres that much, whilst Energetics on the medium. That's not the track, but he's going to make the move anyway, and yet easily passes Farhad there for P12. Meanwhile, Andreas is within DRS range of Droftas, but he has dropped back a bit. Meanwhile, Droftas looks to be on a charge to try and get Emerson and get that P2. As it stands, though, in the championship, he did say actually that he doesn't like Bahrain, so I think he'll be happy with the result that puts him on the podium. Of course, still a good result for his championship. He's still, yet again, extending his championship lead. Dan Murphy down in 8th and 2nd. Nolsey, who's in 3rd in the championship, in 9th. Andreas, one of his old title rivals, having a decent race today in 4th. It'll be good to see him back up. It'll be quite nice to have him back on the podium. But Elan gets past Tango because he's disconnected after waiting for... He has got another invite, so hopefully he'll rejoin. If not, Velocity will have to send him another one. But yeah, and this will be a good confidence boost for Andreas. As Abbasis gets a 3-second time penalty. He's about to overtake the disconnected car of Tango. God, how much better Tango's results would be if his internet wouldn't cut out. Real shame. Real shame. Even if he's not too bothered and is used to it. But yeah, Chapelele just... He's actually just lapped Fatality. As my Delta's temporarily gone. It was almost an 8.2 second lead. No, it was more than that. It was an 8.3 second lead, and I think it might have been even more extended, but currently my Delta's not there for the top 5, which is really helpful. Paulie Orange has got past Knowlesy. Hopefully I'll get my Deltas back so I can, you know, have an idea of when those sort of moves are going to be. I think I hear movement. Is Velocity back, or...?
I am back.
Yes.
Just sort of waiting for something to happen. I'm just keeping my eye out. And I do feel like we've settled down a little bit now. Nords is the only one I can really see making a move anytime soon. Abbasis has been following.
Seems like he's within DRS range of Emerson.
I don't know. Emerson's straight line speed is insane, and obviously Andreas isn't going to be able to do much because he's in a 3-man DRS train.
Well, we've had the first comment on our new stream after the first one unfortunately failed. Luckily we didn't miss anything when it failed.
So Abbasis has been just sitting behind Elhan for quite a while now. I'm not quite sure what the plan
Tango's AI is
and it was Cameron saying part 2. Yeah, this is like the Harry Potter franchise now.
We're milking it. We were making sequels even though they won't be particularly good. Is Tango back in the session, or is that his AI is pitted for softs? I think he's back in the session. Because you're not ghosting. Yeah, he's back in the session, so he's going for the 2-stop. He's just yeeting it.
He's going to take that fastest lap, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to come out in 14th. Meanwhile, look at these gaps. Current closest one is Abbasis and Alan.
Oh, big oversteer moment for Droftas there. Almost losing the car.
He's dropped out of DRS range of Emerson as a result. Meanwhile, Chapelele is now 8.5 seconds ahead. Just cruising to his second successive victory. And you think maybe if he would have joined the championship a little earlier, Droftas would have a lot more of a challenge on his hands to win this championship. But as it stands, Droftas is still going to extend that championship lead. Although it might get a little bit sketchy at the end of the season if Chapelele keeps winning, but he would have to practically win every race, Chapelele, to have any chance. And Droftas
he's got the pace to do it. It's just
Droftas theoretically though would have to DNF quite a couple, or at least in the final 7 races after, because there'll be 7 races left after this one. Looking down the grid, and it's quite spaced out. Farth at the moment getting the final point. Energetics 1.7 seconds behind. Of course, we saw that move on Farhad, who's in 12th. Chapelele cruising. 8.7 seconds now.
Do you reckon he's just making sure he doesn't get penalties?
Yeah, and also you can ask Tango Lees again, absolute nightmare in terms of connection. And I also think he'll not want to have a mistake. Do you remember in Spain when he was miles in front and he had that little spin? And Droftas ended up winning on penalties, I think, as a result of that spin.
No, he didn't. It was just very close.
Yes, but he'll want to avoid that. The gap has come down a bit, so perhaps he's starting to turn the engine down a bit, or save some ERS and fuel. Everywhere else is still Abbasis and Alan that are closest. And in fact, Alan's got very close this lap. He might be in a position to make a move. And that would be significant for Red Bull in the Drivers' Championship if they could get both drivers ahead of a...
Well, I think Abbasis needs to beat Elhan to really just maybe scare AlphaTauri a little bit.
Well, Abbasis is currently last, but that's only because he's only just joined. So this result will take him clear of the relegation zone. If it stays like this, and it could even get better. Of course, currently in 6th, he would get 8 points. So that would take him to 10 in the championship. Tango's joined back. Good to see. He's currently in 14th, but he's on the soft tyres. He may get fastest lap, but it's not going to get him a point because it's an 8.9 second gap. Then to as Farhad gets a 3 second time penalty to the next car. So yeah, this has now become the only battle between two cars that's within DRS range. Unfortunately, it looks like unless anything spectacular happens, we're settling for a boring finale at this rate. So much more like real F1, probably for next season. We've still got Bahrain to come, of course, this year in this COVID calendar, including the new layout, which will be interesting.
Which is going to possibly be the most boring race I'll ever watch in my whole entire life.
It's literally a rectangle, pretty much. The new layout. So,
square, isn't it?
I'm a bit confused how that's going to be entertaining, but you know, bit of NASCAR.
Well, people are saying sub 1 minute lap times are apparently going to get set around there. So
yeah, definitely. I think in the 56 seconds will probably be.
Well, I'm a bit curious on why they're not doing Bahrain short, actually.
I think that's
all they
about
have
the
to
same
do is.
Time, but yeah, at least it's a bit more of a track.
Technical.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than drive, turn. It's very basic.
We've got Tango, who was retired from the session in the pits.
He's unfortunately being
Internet
cursed.
is letting down there.
Yeah, it always shows such good pace and promise.
Well, Abbasis is gaining very, very slowly on Ailhan.
Well, he was within 4/10, but then just dropped back a bit. Ailhan, I think, maybe confident enough to manage the pace a bit. So yeah, we're down to 15 runners, but Milan has disconnected. I think Fatality's disconnected as well. Yeah, so we've actually only got 13 real drivers in. Abbasis has got that down to, well, he did have it down to 5/10.
Cameron's saying 100 lap race. To be honest, I think it might actually be around that.
Oh, it'd be so boring. They'd have to put they'd have to somehow be rain at Bahrain for that to be interesting.
Well, do you remember when Bernie was saying about sprinklers?
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't think that would be a bad idea.
Well, like tracks where it never rains, you know, like especially if you're going to do really boring ones. Like...
If you think about it, all the best races in F1 history have been in the wet. Canada, Germany,
or mixed conditions,
Yeah, like. If I'm being honest, the future of F1 should just put... Yeah, you should literally... The future of F1 should be put sprinklers on the track and just activate them at some point in the race. Just at a random point. Just whenever the FIA feel like it. Probably when Hamilton overtakes to the lead or something.
The thing is, Hamilton's still a rainmaster, so he probably still...
Yeah, but, you know, it's...
But
it makes it a bit more fun.
Tell you another battle that's come to my attention now, actually, is F1 Farth and Knowlesy. F1 Farth looking to turn...
up, isn't it?
Yeah, F1 Farth looking to turn that 1 point into 2 points. Andreas actually was briefly within DRS range of Drottas. Oh, he is again. But, yeah, not really close enough. Farth is starting to push, I think, with these final 3 laps. Maybe saved up a load of fuel in ERS and is going to go for it for the last 3 laps and try and get... Because realistically, the highest he can get is 9th. Unless Paulie Orange has some big penalties. But he's actually... Paulie Orange is gaining on Dan Murphy. And he's going to get past here. And Paulie Orange makes the move stick.
These moves have come out of nowhere, haven't they?
Yeah, the gaps have just suddenly tumbled down.
Well, I'll tell you who's just ran away. Emerson's ran away from Drottas.
Yes. And Chapelele continues to run away with the race win.
Do you think if Emerson hadn't done what he did at the start and have his spin, do you think he could have possibly won this? He is gaining on Chapelele.
He's got the pace, yeah, but I think Chapelele's
talking to Droftas, and we might be talking to Andreas instead, because Jesus.
I'm not sure about the penalty situation.
2 attempts in a braking zone.
We're not sure about the penalty situation as Farth lines up the move on Nosey. He's not going to go for it. That's surprising. He could have easily made a lunge, but is he going to wait for the second bit? Oh, it's not the best exit,
he's on the
though.
Better tyres as well, so
he's not had the greatest exit there. He's going to have to wait another lap. I think he thought that with a good exit he could get it done on the second DRS straight, but he didn't have that good exit. Meanwhile, Abbasis continues to be...
Oh, Droftas has messed it up.
Oh, he's gone incredibly wide. He's struggling on those tyres. He's really struggling on those tyres.
And Andreas has come through. Why do I have a weird feeling he's done that on purpose? To get Andreas out of the DRS of him. There is a weird part of me that feels like he knew what he was doing.
You're just pessimistic.
No, I just think...
No, not having it.
There's a tactical
he's going to get past him
element.
again. He might have just made a genuine mistake. It is possible. We'll ask him. Well, you can ask him. I'm not going to ask him that. I feel that's a bit rude. Droftas gets through back to P3. Andreas is going to have the run on him, though.
And here we go. Andreas coming back at Droftas. This is the most entertaining. But oh my!
Oh wow!
Lord, is he going to make that?
That's surely he's made that. He has.
Jeez,
That's a really ballsy but brilliant move. Meanwhile, Farth and Nosey, Farth still too far back. Meanwhile, Droftas and Andreas, this battle continues, and we are getting some entertainment to finish the race with. And it's between these two. It might come down to penalties, because we have no idea about the penalty situation. Because we quite often miss it when it comes up on our.
Well, we're gonna have Droftas coming back at Andreas in the final moments. They have lost 7 seconds to Emerson, so he's just run away. But is Abbasis?
Can we just quickly check the comments?
Is Abbasis going to be able to catch? We've got Tango. Sorry guys, wasn't my night, but hey ho, on to the next one. And I don't see any others, so it's probably Cameron just chatting rubbish.
Excellent. Well, Droftas looking to get the move done yet again. And
here we go. Is Andreas gonna? He's gonna battle that.
He's fighting it. Oh, nearly contact. Droftas gets through.
He's got that.
But Andreas is so close behind him.
This final lap of the race, and also
he's got DRS. Yeah, this is when you're going to see some real ballsy moves. He's going to go for the switchback.
Droftas defended that brilliantly.
Yeah, he did. Position the car absolutely expertly.
Now, Andreas is going to have to set himself up really well for the end of this, because, as we know, Chapelele, unless something goes terribly wrong, he's going to come across and win this race. Emerson's going to come at second, and then it's a battle for who do we speak to in between these two.
Indeed it is. Abbasis also within 4/10 of Alan. But Alan just has that straight line speed. Energetics looking for that final points position. He's right behind Farth, and Farth seems to be struggling behind Nosey. But meanwhile, it's going to be Chapelele who wins the Bahrain Grand Prix, and he's celebrating. He's weaving across the line because he knows he's won his second race in a row. He'll be followed by Emerson.
It looks like Droftas is the next man.
Yeah, Emerson comes home second. Droftas is going to come ahead of Andreas, but what about penalties? We're about to see, and it stays as it is. Alan in P5. Abbasis falls down.
To P6.
Abbasis falling down. Meanwhile, the points for the final points position. Farth and Nosey so close. Oh my goodness!
And that stays as it is.
Yeah. So, do you want to invite our podium sitters and race winner to the party? Because Chapelele has got his second victory in a row. And Droftas is going to be on the podium again after a short break of the last race of him not being on it. and he will extend his championship lead.
I do hate this PlayStation menu, I'm not gonna lie. You know what's handy though? They're all really close together on my friends list, so... And there you go. They're all invited.
We have our first people joining the party. There is the confirmation of the grid. Chapelele then, with the race win, but I do believe... Who got the fastest lap? Jonathan Cox? Or Paulie Orange? I'm not sure. No, it was Tango, but of course he did not finish. But yeah, Chapelele first, Emerson second, Droftas third, Andreas fourth, Alan fifth, Paulie Orange from 17th to 6th. Absolutely brilliant job from him. Dan Murphy from 12th to 7th. Abyssus, he did finish P6, but because of penalties dropped down, he's in P8. Knowlesy P9, and Farth in the final point scoring position. Energetics just missing out on that 10th place. Farhad 12th, Jonathan Cox 13th. Milan disconnected, unfortunately for him. Fatality, his race went downhill after he got wing damage, an incident with Emerson, and the rest did not finish. So have we only got Emerson in at the moment? Droftas is speaking. Yeah, he's joined the party. He's worked out. We'll see if we can get Chapelele to join as well. But as Droftas has joined, we'll start with P3. Oh, is Chapelele here actually?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start with P1 then. Sorry, Droftas. Chapelele, 2 wins in a row. Pretty dominant performance, and for once you didn't bottle it in qualifying. You got the pole position.
Yeah, I bottled it on the formation lap. It was like driving on ice on those mediums. It was like, I don't know.
It's a lot better to bottle it on the formation lap than in the race or at quali. But were you really relieved? Because obviously, even though you won the last race, again, you didn't make it easy for yourself in qualifying. You finally got that pole position. That must have been a big relief and confidence boost.
Yeah, it was a great lap actually.
Yeah,
Only
no,
like
it was
3-4 attempts off my PB, so yeah.
Yeah, you got poled by 3.5 tenths, I think, if I remember correctly. It was absolutely solid, and it was a bit of a Sebastian Vettel and Red Bull's days in terms of you. I mean, you had to get through some traffic once you pitted, but from start to finish, mainly you were just well clear of everyone else. There was a bit where you were coming under pressure from Jonathan Cox, but you seemed to have that under control.
Yeah, he was on the soft and I didn't to let him by, because then he would have just slowed me down when his tires dropped off, so I used the DRS to stay ahead. And the hard runners didn't make it hard for me.
Yeah, no, you seem to get past them relatively easily. So congratulations on that. Can you get 3 in the row next time out? I think it's France next.
Easy.
I like the confidence. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you, man.
I go to our second place finisher then, Emerson. It was quite an eventful race. You had that contact at the start. I can't remember who it was with actually, where you spun round, and then you had to fight your way back up the grid. Talk about the race from your perspective.
Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest of races on my part, but yeah, I had a bit of a battle with Tango at the beginning, and yeah, I just clipped this side pod and it just spun me around like a half spin. It was just an awkward kind of incident. I mean, he left me room. It was a tight little battle. I think it was just a racing incident, but it was close. Yeah, and then apologies to who was it, Fatality, and I just completely misjudged my braking point, and then I had to cut the corner, and I thought I could have. Well, I ended up speeding up to try and get past him because there was a gap between him and whoever was in front of him. But I just ended up taking him out and completely ruining his race. So apology to him for that. But yeah, I mean, even if that was the case, I don't think I could have brought Chapelele. He just was in a league of his own. But I managed to fight my way back into P2. So I mean, overall, it was a pretty decent result, I suppose. Probably would have been where I would have been without the incidents. But yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You apologised for the fatality. I did think it was more likely to be a misjudgment of braking rather than an incredibly ambitious dive bomb. Yeah, these things happen, and yeah, you managed to cut your way through the field after that spin and recover really well, and some really entertaining wheel-to-wheel actions. Did you enjoy it, or are you not a fan of this track? Or
Yeah, I enjoyed the battle, but I'm not really a huge fan of this track. That's why I was quite surprised that I was quite quick in qualifying, and then I kind of got put back in my place when Chapelele did his lap and he went half a second quicker. I was like, okay, yep, he's definitely a lot faster than me.
Yeah, no, it's a brilliant effort nonetheless. So congratulations with the P2.
Cheers, mate.
Droftas, long time no speak. Weren't here last week, obviously in Belgium, but you're back here again. Quite an intense battle with Andreas. You made it a bit harder for yourself by going wide at that horrible corner just before the third DRS straight and the first DRS straight after the second sector. What happened there? Did you just outbrake yourself, or?
Yeah, the Chinese turned up and I wasn't massively paying attention, to be perfectly honest with you. And all of a sudden I had a little Swede go down my inside, so I had to try and get him back. Had a good little battle for a couple of laps, but nope, P3's a win for me today there, in my head anyway.
Yeah, well, you've extended your
That's all I need.
championship lead.
P3 every week.
Yeah, exactly. Extended your championship lead, and yeah, got another podium. Velocity was actually saying that you might have done it on purpose. He said there was a bit of him that thought you did it on purpose. I didn't think it was on purpose, but
he would say that because, in all honesty, he's a scumbag. So.
Oh.
Love it. Yeah, good race for you. Were you a bit disappointed with qualifying? Obviously, P7. We don't usually see you that.
No,
that
this is my slowest track by a mile. I just don't like it. I never hook it up. So I was expecting sort of between 5 and 10 somewhere.
Okay,
but,
so yeah, pretty happy.
Pleased with coming through, and things happening for him. Johnny been in it helped obviously. Emerson helped me by pulling me along, keeping me away from the hard to medium runners. So
you're welcome.
I'll take it anytime. you can come again.
Well, I'll be here next week hopefully. So.
Yeah. Next up is France. Do you think you got a chance of maybe getting an even better result than here? Because obviously here was one of your best tracks. How good are you at France? Do you think you've got a chance?
France is alright. It's just a DRS train, isn't it? France.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So it's anyone's guess. Depends on the weather. Depends on if a Chinese turns up.
Yeah, you'd love a wet race, wouldn't you? As we know from Canada.
Wet every week, please. Wet every week.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the podium, and thank you to everyone for tuning in. I apologise that there's two parts to the stream. That's because for about 2 seconds the stream cut out. We had to restart it, but luckily we didn't miss anything. So yeah, it won't have affected any of you guys apart from being a mild inconvenience. And we will see you next week for France. So thanks to Velocity as well for co-commentating with me.
Don't thank him.
Yeah, you know what? No. I won't, actually. Screw you, Velocity. And yeah, to next week.